Clarificatory, Mr. Chair. Ilang beses ko po kasi narinig yung salitang, my loyalty is to my bosses. Did I hear that right earlier? From...
Opo, one way of saying I cannot be better than the boss, the vice mayor as an appointing authority.
Yeah. So, Mr. Chair,
and the
if I
SB
may, Mr. Chair, baka dito po kasi in aid of legislation, may we inquire from the Honorable George Cariño, sino po ba ang boss nyo?
Again, certifying that there is an urgent certification coming from the mayor, but he still insisted that there was none. He merely blindly followed his bosses, and therefore, he lied 3 times before the people of San Simon, Pampanga, and more particularly, he lied before the proceedings of this committee. I move, Mr. Chair, that he be cited for contempt, and the necessary penalty of detention be carried with it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Before I recognize everyone, there's a motion to cite in contempt SB Secretary Cariño. Any objections?
We were able to prove that the Sangguniang Bayan Secretary lied to the people of the municipality of San Simon, as well as the members of this committee. In 3 instances, Mr. Chair, first in the agenda of January 14, 2020, it was admitted that that there was a certified urgent coming from the city mayor, only to be overturned by his own admission that there was none. And then in the preparation of the minutes of the committee, the minutes of the meeting, again, there was a formal declaration that there was a certified urgent letter coming from the mayor, only to be admitted again that there was none. And then finally, he submitted the certification before us, again, certifying that there is an urgent certification coming from the mayor, but he still insisted that there was none. He merely blindly followed his bosses, and therefore, he lied 3 times before the people of San Simon, Pampanga, and more particularly, he lied before the proceedings of this committee. I move, Mr. Chair, that he be cited for contempt, and the necessary penalty of detention be carried with it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Before I recognize everyone, there's a motion to cite in contempt SB Secretary Cariño. Any objections? Honorable former President Jimmy objects? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I wanted to propound clarificatory questions so that I will know if I will support that. Very quickly, Mr. Chair. Very quickly.
Okay,
Because,
I will give you a few. Ilang tanong ba?
yeah, dalawa lang, Mr.
Dalawa.
Chair.
Because there is a second by Congressman Akop. And just for the record, as of now, there is a second motion by Congressman Akop, but they are being objected. For the record,
Yeah.
Ma'am Jamie is voting for no. With regards to the contempt. Please proceed.
Clarificatory, Mr. Chair. Ilang beses ko po kasi narinig yung salitang, my loyalty is to my bosses. Did I hear that right earlier? From...
Opo, one way of saying I cannot be better than the boss, the vice mayor as an appointing authority.
So, Mr. Chair,
and the
if I may, Mr. Chair, baka dito po kasi in aid of legislation, may we inquire from the Honorable George Cariño, sino po ba ang boss nyo sa pagkakaintindi mo?
The appointing authority is the immediate superior of the who is the vice mayor, Your Honor, and the SB member are also my superior in the legislative processes, Your Honor. Ang banggit ko po dito, I hope.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair, just to cut short the time, Medyo dun po kasi nakakalito. Kasi, Mr. Chair, with due respect to Mr. George Cariño, as a government official, ang boss niyo po ay ang mga taong bayan, ang mga taga San Simon. And I think that should be corrected, Mr. Chair, for the record, that all of us, our power emanates from the people who are paying our taxes. So I believe that can be corrected. My next question, Mr. Chair, in relation to the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta and the answers during the previous hearing, narinig po kasi natin yung mga kataga sa isang buwan, approximately there are 4. Did I hear that right? Correct? If my memory recalls me right, 4 yung mga certificate of urgency na ini-issue. That was your answer before.
Opo,
Yeah, but please answer it with a yes or no. So it's
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the statement of the SB Secretary, naging pangkaraniwan na kapag may mga land reclassification or request from the Office of the Mayor, even without documents, as long as it is certified urgent, it's being done approximately on a minimum 4 to 5 times. With that, Mr. Chair, I'm going to put forward the proper motion that we be given a copy of all these urgent requests, because this is also in relation to the action of Mr. George Cariño. Lastly, Mr. Chair, may I ask the Honorable George Cariño, ano po ba ang responsibilities ng Sangguniang Bayan Secretary?
Under the local government code po, ang trabaho ng SB Secretary is to attend the meeting and take minutes of the proceedings, Your Honor, posting of the ordinances approved by the...
Mr. Chair, do you examine documents that are being given to you, or you just blindly follow whatever is whispered to you?
I just listen to my superiors, Your Honor, because I am not in a position to inquire whether what they are saying is true or
So,
not.
Mr.
or
Chair, pasensya na po, last question. So you can sign anything without checking the documents, just based on what your perceived bosses are saying?
During the deliberation, Your Honor, anyway, what is presented...
No, my question is answerable with a yes or no. So maski walang papel, kapag merong allegedly nagsabi sa'yo, diretso na lang yon, sasabihin mong urgent yon, pero walang papel.
Pag binanggit po sa akin ng mga honorableng SB members, Your Honor, dun po, ako po...
So no further question, Mr. Chair, and I would not object to the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta, because I can see clearly that George Cariño is confused with his obligations.
Thank you, Honorable Garin. Just for the record, the motion of, the motion of Congressman Marcoleta to cite in contempt, duly seconded by Chairman Akop, and the objection ni former President Honorable JMA, of course, that is for the record purposes, but because Ma'am JMA cannot vote because she's not a member of this committee. So any member of this committee that wants to object. So no objections to the members of this committee. The motion is...
Your Honor,
Please
please.
wait. The motion is carried.
Your Honor, please, may I answer bago po ako
Sandali, tapusin mo muna yung ano namin, proceedings namin, then I will recognize you. I need a motion for the period of detention of Mr. Cariño. And section C, refusal to answer relevant questions.
What is the
or
maximum period, Mr. Chair?
maximum period, it's up to the committee. Only E and F violation, it says a maximum of 10 days.
Mr. Chair.
But letter A to letter B, it's up to the committee.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, please proceed.
upon listening to the exchanges between Manong Dante and our resource person, it's not only C that is being violated. In fact, there's also one under our section 11, under our contempt order, Mr. Chair. I believe section D was also being violated. Refusal to produce any books, papers, documents, or records that are relevant to the inquiry and are in possession of the concerned person. Congressman Marcoleta has been asking the SB Secretary to produce to us the letter coming from the mayor, and this is very relevant in the discussion on whether there was indeed a urgency of the matter. But he Instead, he provided us a certification. So I think item letter D is also being violated, not only letter C.
Anyway, Congressman Adjong, though 1, 2, or 3 violation, for as long as it is up to the committee to decide the period of detention, except for letter D, E and F. So, yung manifestation of the Congressman Adjong is duly noted. Again, I need a motion for the period of detention of...
I move, Mr. Chair, that he be meted out with the maximum penalty that will be decided by this committee on the basis of the lies perpetrated before the people of San Simon and before this committee, and for covering up, because I honestly believe that there is a letter of urgency submitted by the municipal mayor, but it is being covered up by the Sangguniang Secretary, George Cariño. And probably his release will be dependent on either the production of that particular letter of urgency submitted by the mayor, and also by recanting his statement that his bosses and superiors are the members of the Sangguniang Bayan instead of the people of the Philippines, particularly the people of San Simon, Pampanga. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Again, just to make it clear, we cannot move to detain and move and approve a detention period of an indefinite period, because there's a jurisprudence in the Supreme Court that Congresses cannot detain indefinitely those contempted.
Well, I said, Mr. Chair, maximum as decided by this committee.
So, but I need a motion. I thought all the while that you will move for 30 days, 15 days, or even up till the approval of the committee report.
I was under the impression that it will still be decided, but if you need some numbers, immediately I will move that he be detained for 10 days, Mr. Chair. And subject to further detention and on the conditions that I have cited, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
There's a motion to detain for 10 days. 10 days. 10 days. May motion nga. There's a motion by Congressman Marcoleta to detain SP Secretary Cariño for 10 days, subject to his compliance and cooperation. Now, compliance of all the documents of cooperation with regards to the issue at hand, particular dun sa certificate of urgency coming from the mayor's office. There's a motion. Duly seconded. In objections, the chair is none, the motion is carried. Sergeant at Arms is directed to the COMSEC to escort SP Cariño after this hearing to his detention facility, and also COMSEC is directed to draft a letter addressed to the Secretary General and the Sergeant at Arms.